Hey everybody, so here is Module 6, Lesson 4, Math Chat. So we're going to start by pressing play here.
Nice to see you again, Math Star. Let's learn. This is a meter stick. What is its length?
So if we look at a meter stick, we're looking in centimeters, but if we look at the whole thing, how many centimeters do we have? 100 centimeters. But how long is that? It's a meter. So 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So how much would be a meter? So 1/100th of a meter is 1 centimeter.
1 meter is made of 100 centimeters. So 100th meter equals 1 centimeter. That's it. In decimal form, 100th meter can be written as 0.01 meter. How do you think we represent 300th meter as a decimal?
So if 0.01 was 100th, what would be 300ths? 0.03. What would be 6/100ths? That's right, 0.06. So give you a moment to do that one. Say it out loud so that you can try. If you did it, you would have gotten 0.04. Now, remember, if we did just 0.4 and didn't have that 0 there, it would be 4/10ths. But because we have that 0 there, we're in the hundredths spot.
I represented 300th meter in decimal form like this.
You got it. This is 1 meter partitioned into 10 equal parts. Let's shade 1/10 meter. How many centimeters equal 1/10 meter?
So if we think about that, we have 1/10, one piece out of 10. So if I were to give that to you, that's what we're shading. So if I were to ask you how many centimeters that would be 10 centimeters. Oops. Because in each one of these would be 10. How many do I need to get to 100? We know this whole thing is 100. So 100 divided by 10 would give me 10.
1/10 meter equals 10 centimeters. There are 10 hundredths meter in 1/10 meter. Awesome! We can write this number in fraction form and in decimal form. 1/10 meter equals 10 hundredths meter. Let's decompose 1/10 meter into 10 smaller units.
Oh, she just made it to 10.
This number sentence is true.
So that's what we were talking about earlier. So I'm going to shade 1/10. Well, that means I'm not going to shade a whole thing. I'm going to shade, well, 1/10 of a meter would be 1/10, right? But if I wanted a centimeter, what would I need? I would need a little piece of that. So how many meters? I need 10, how many meters? 10 hundredths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it looks familiar. Oh, I think it gave me an extra one. Yep, it gave me an extra one. I don't know why I did that. See, we all make mistakes. So are these the same or are they different? They look the same to me, so we're going to put equals down here. How would I rewrite that in decimal form? Well, 1/10 we learned was 0.1. 10 hundredths would be 10, 0.10.
This is 1/10 meter, and this is 10 hundredths meter. They take up the same amount of space, so 1/10 meter equals 10 hundredths meter. I can write that in decimal form like this.
Biggity bam! Try one on your own.
We're going to skip through these because we don't have that information. 5/10, we use 0.5.
Give this last one your best shot.
Oh, here we go. Okay, 20. So we're going to go over 20, but I'm going to go over a whole one and another whole one because I know that that's 10 there and then that's 10. So I'm going to go over the whole thing of 20. Now I could have done it by ones. That's okay too. 20 hundredths is also saying 1, 2, 2 out of how many pieces? 10. So those are equal to each other. So what's 20 hundredths? How do we write that? We write that like this. And 2/10 we write like this. Notice, look at the two numbers. What's the difference? This one just added a 0. So we say the word 20. This one we just say the word 2.
Lucas, I shaded 20 hundredths meter like this. I can tell from my tape diagram that 20 hundredths is the same as 2/10. I wrote 20 hundredths as a decimal and 2/10 as a decimal. All of these numbers have the same value. I love it.
They're all equal.
Now let's shade 5 hundredths meter more.
Ooh. So we've already shaded 20. We're going to shade 5 hundredths. So that means I can only go by once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So then how many is that? 20 plus 5 would be 25 hundredths. I changed my 2/10 into hundredths.
I shaded 5 hundredths more like this. This is 2/10 meter plus 5 hundredths meter. That's 25 hundredths meter altogether.
Beautiful.
Oh, so now we see it as a number bond. So how did we break that up? Well, they had it as 20 100ths or 2/10, either way. But I'm going to put meters and 5 hundredths. So you could write it as 20 hundredths or 2/10, but it was how many meters? 25 hundredths. So we would write that as 0.25.
"25 hundredths is made of 2/10 and 5 hundredths. I know this because 2/10 plus 5 hundredths equals 20 hundredths plus 5 hundredths, which equals 25 hundredths. Yiggity yow! 25 hundredths can be written as a decimal like this, 0.25. Great job today working with hundredths as decimals and fractions. Keep on rocking in the Tower of Power.
So I hope that you understood that. We're going to move on to, in a new video, to Tower of Power. See you then.